Hey everyone, Dr. Andy here, NorthStar Spine. Today I wanted to go through our lower back mobility routine. It's going to require a foam roller, some type of mobility ball. A softball works really great. You can get mobility balls online or at Target or Walmart. And then it's also going to require maybe a mat and something to sit on to do some glute stretching. So the three big muscles we're going to work on when it comes to foam rolling and mobility are going to be our glutes, our IT bands, and our hip flexors. Now when it comes to glutes, you can use your foam roller, and you can use all different kinds of foam rollers. There's some that have knobs on them, there's some that are longer, there's some that are soft. But basically you're going to sit on your hip, and you're going to basically work from the leg up to the rim of the pelvis. And you're going to spend about 2 minutes going through that glute, trying to find anything that feels extra tight. And when you do find a tight spot, you're going to stop and hold pressure on that and let the pressure and tightness start to fade away. And then you'll move on to a new spot and do the same thing. And you want to spend about 2 minutes working this area. If you do too much, you may get sore, but not doing enough isn't going to give you the ultimate benefit of doing this either. Now, if you want to intensify this, you can cross the leg over, and you can basically get a little bit deeper into the muscles around the hip joint, and this will help to loosen up all that tightness in the hip. When you're done with 2 minutes on one side, you're just going to move to the other side and repeat. So you'll sit on your glute, you'll start out with your leg kind of straight like this and go back and forth through that glute muscle, working on any tightness that feels like it's giving you trouble in there. And then stop and put pressure on those areas, let it fade away, move on, and after 2 minutes, move to a different body part. And again, if you want to intensify it, you'll stretch the muscle as you roll it, and that'll give you some more intensity. And this would be later on during the mobility routine and the progression there. From there, we're going to work the IT band. The IT band goes from your hip down to your knee, and typically when this is tight, it's going to cause an imbalance when you walk. So you just want to make sure these muscles and fascia stay nice and loose. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to get into a side plank position. So you're going to be on your elbow, your top leg will be forward, and we're going to be rolling the bottom leg. So you're going to start on the side of your leg, going from your hip down to your knee, and rolling back and forth like this. And again, you want to spend about 2 minutes on this. And it can be extremely painful, especially the first few times you do it. Now it's important to work on this, especially if you have any history of running or any type of distance exercise, because these muscles become extremely tight over time. And if we don't work on them regularly, they start to cause a lot of problems. And then when you're done with the one side, we'll go ahead and switch sides. So again, into a side plank position. Top leg is in front, supporting your weight. The roller will go on the side of your leg, and you'll go from that knee basically up to your hip. Back and forth for 2 minutes. And if you find anything that feels extra tight, you'll stop and hold pressure on those areas and just roll them out and get everything feeling basically the same from side to side. Now from there, when it comes to the mobility ball, we're going to work on our hip flexors. Our hip flexors are a muscle that go from our spine down to our hip, and they're responsible for hip flexion. And many of us have tight hip flexors because we sit a lot, or we run, or we bike, and this causes that muscle to tighten up, causing a lot of tension on the lower back. So the way you find the hip flexors, you find your belly button, you find your hip bone, and you draw a line in between, and right in the center of that line basically is where your hip flexor is located. So you're going to take your ball and you're going to lay over it. So you're going to get into almost a plank position here. You can use your legs to help support your weight, but then you're going to let your body sink into that mobility ball, and you can just rock and roll around that area, try to loosen up those tight hip flexors. You're going to spend about 2 minutes working on those hip flexors, and if you want to intensify this, the way you do it is you do leg lifts. The glute and the hip flexor are oppositional muscles. That means when your glute contracts, your hip flexor relaxes. So if we're trying to get the ultimate benefit here, make sure your glute is contracting while you're doing your hip flexor release work. From there, you can come on up, and we'll repeat on the other side. So belly button, hip bone, draw a line. You're going to take that mobility ball, put it right in the center. Then you're going to come back down lay over your ball, let your body sink in real deep. You'll feel some tightness in that area. Rock and roll over that hip flexor, and then do some of those prone leg lifts, spending about 2 minutes working on that tight hip flexor. Now, my recommendation for mobility work and stretching is to try to fit it in towards the end of the day. That half hour, maybe an hour as you're winding down at the end of the night watching TV. Have this stuff out in the living room and just use it. You know, it's kind of fun to just roll around, but then you'll wake up each day feeling a lot better because you've worked out those tight muscles. If you repeat this, say 3 to 5 times per week, you're going to feel a benefit pretty quickly. Now, the 3 stretches I want to review with you are going to be your hamstrings. You can do these on the ground where you can just go into like a figure 4 here. You can reach forward and stretch for 30 seconds here. You'll feel a nice pull through the back of your leg, maybe into your calf and into your lower back. So 30 seconds here, or if you need to go here, that's fine, or here. Just progress all the way up and try to get as far towards the foot as you can. Then you'll switch. Same thing, nice deep stretch for 30 seconds through that hamstring on the opposite side. And once we have the hamstring stretched out, we're going to stretch out the hip flexors. And the way we do this is we go into almost like a lunge position here. And what you're going to do is you're going to have your hands on your hips, lean forward, tip back just a little bit, and you'll feel a nice pull through your groin area and into your basically, thigh, maybe up into your abdominal area as well. And you'll hold that for 30 seconds. And then you'll switch, other leg up, tip back, nice deep stretch through the opposite hip flexor here, holding for about 30 seconds. And then lastly, you can do your glutes. So you'll sit on a bench or a chair, and you'll cross your leg over the other one, resting your ankle on the opposite knee. Sit nice and tall, and just do a nice lean forward until you feel a nice pull through that hip. This is similar to what you were doing when you were on the foam roller, if you were stretching it at the same time, but this will be a nice deep glute stretch to help work on that hip mobility. And from there, repeat on the other side. Sit nice and tall, lean forward, nice deep stretch through that opposite side. So there are 3 mobility exercises you can do, along with 3 great stretches you can do to help ease tension that's being placed on your lower back. If you have any questions about this routine or would like some clarification, please let us know on one of your next visits. Otherwise, I hope you found some value. Thanks.